So welcome back to FM1 Podcast here with your podcaster here, XC Zigzag with FM1 commentator here, and ex-driver and ex-championship as well, rizalezhar. How does it feel like to be a champion, and that was the first ever champion in season 1? How did that feel like for you?
Good. I mean, not too much.
I mean, looking back at now, it's kind of incredible how you won the first ever official FM1 tournament, a championship.
I don't think so.
How's that?
Half the people didn't know how to race. The only reason why I won is because I was able to pick up racing faster than them.
You ain't wrong. But in terms of the current championships and current seasons, which season do you think is the best out of all the seasons we had so far? I mean, we had a total of 7 seasons now, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And which one do you think deserves to be in your top 3 of the best seasons you've commentated or raced in?
Top 3?
Mm-hmm.
Season 4. Season 4, number 3.
Season 4, was that the season where you and Josh were teammates for a short while before the season was cancelled? Wow. Then season 4 was, what was the memorable thing about it? We added elevation.
More like the memorable thing is in season 4 there was more racers.
Yeah. Okay.
And polished tracks. Next one, season 4, 5. We're at 7. Season.
Oh, this is a tough one for you, isn't it?
Yeah, season 5 and 6 were very similar. Put season 2 in second place.
Oh, season 2, going back, way back. Why season 2?
It's what made FM1 here today, I guess.
You ain't wrong, since we did have a new driver. Kale was in the grid back then. So, I'm very, season 2 is a good pick. What about your top 1 out of 7 seasons, and about, if we count it all up, almost 50 plus races have held, if I'm correct?
Season 5 is a close one.
Ooh.
6, I'm between 6 and 5. They're very similar, just that 6 doesn't have the problem of elevation. But 5 had better racing.
Correct. So, even though there was elevation, we still had great races in the said elevation tracks, such as Yabiza, crazy race. Tipsy got P1 in the first start and was contending for P3 for a good while.
Season 5, number 1.
Season 5, number 1. Wow. I mean, yeah, that top 3 sounds really good, but in season, let's say 2, which track do you think was the most competitive in that?
Monaco.
What about season 4? Yeah, season 4.
Most competitive? Season 4,
Yaxon. How about season 5? I mean, a lot of races. It was competitive, since good racers to great races. So, which one do you think it was? Monaco, Yaxon, or Ajalali? I mean, there's a lot of good picks here, but Monaco again, with Josh and Arnold fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, do you consider that as the most memorable race of Monaco ever held, or what do you think?
Yeah.
Wow. Dang, because of the fighting.
Yep.
Dang, I mean, I could, yeah. I mean, that was the most entertaining from Monaco race I've ever watched. I mean, yeah, but there was a lot of how do you say this? Tension between Josh and Arnav there. Do you think they might be future teammates in the future of the season?
They're
of
already
FM1?
teammates, dummy.
I mean, yeah, but do you think it's gonna be still ongoing, or
Depends on Arnold.
Oh,
If he performs, Josh keeps him.
Di kilala with the wolf going on here, but do you think FM2 has gonna have like more? Do you think that FM2 is gonna produce like great racers such as Joshua, Potato Snack, and Freddy? Which in recent races, Freddy has been a bit lacking. Still has his good, but it still is good. But you could see in recent races that he has been letting his ego get the best of him. For example, where I won. What was it? What race did I win? It was before Casodo. It was. Oh wow. Yeah, Hardinge. Yeah, I mean when I won that race, I felt Freddy's egoistic side taking on, because he wasn't really happy that I won the race. But when he won, what did he win again? Hardinge. Man, I forgot. But well, my point is that maybe that his ego will get to him, but we never know. But talking about recent races here, we're gonna have Shibutori for the next race. Are you gonna be excited for that one?
It will be a very easy track for the drivers, but it usually creates a good race.
I mean, yeah, correct. I mean, Shibutori never fails to like produce a lot of action and everything. Like since last season, Shibutori, Josh missed out by hitting a barrier and letting two Panipui teammates get a 1-2. So, do you think Josh will get his comeback in this race, or how do you think? Will play out? What do you think will play out?
Maybe. It depends.
Because I know that Josh is a very competitive driver, so we never know. We never know that I never see his egoistical side before, so it'll be exciting to see if a side of Josh will come through. I mean, Panipui is leading a bit far from LeBron James here. So do you think that LeBron James team are maybe going through a denial of wins, or are they just getting started here? What do you think? Are they gonna make a surprise comeback, or?
I think they're just struggling with consistency.
Wow. So who do you think is the most struggling here? Like Josh or Arnav here? I mean, Josh did win. Wow. Straight to it. Arnav. Why do you think Arnav is the one that's lacking in consistency? I mean, Josh did pick him over the driver Dylan, which Dylan has been showing great performance lately with getting 2 podiums on the last 2 races, which is very, very good for maybe a new driver. But I wouldn't say he was new, but he's not that old as well. But just let's say a newbie driver. So how do you think that the next season or of LeBron James will look like? Maybe Dylan in a LeBron James seat. What do you think? Since you're the path manager and you're very close with the team manager currently, which is Joshua Williams. So what do you think?
Josh has already signed a deal with Dylan, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh, yes. I forgot that Josh has signed not signed a deal. I think he has offered a chance to Dylan to see if he does perform well this season, Josh will take him under his wing in LeBron James' team and coach him to be
Dylan
good.
already said yes.
Really? When was this? Wow, this is new information here for the FM1 Podcast. Here, when was this?
A long time ago.
Dang. So Dylan's... Wow.
I think it was the same day you asked Dylan.
Wow.
That day you asked Dylan. Was it Josh asked him? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? I just want to do one race with Cody before. Like one season with Cody.
Wow. Okay, now that's some insider stuff that I actually did not know about. Wow. So Dylan is with a seat with the LeBron James team. That is exciting, actually. Seeing Josh and Dylan, two opposites here. That which Dylan being a newbie and Josh being experienced ever since his race at the Jorge in season 4, I think.
2.
Wow. Season 2, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. The Jorge season 2, he was the driver, a newbie driver too, but he was showing good potential in the Jorge. Now he's considered one of the best drivers in the grid so far. So Dylan might be that, like Joshua or Freddie again. So I mean, do you think that Freddie knows this information? Like, do you think Freddie knows that Dylan already has a seat in LeBron James?
Not sure.
Dang.
Maybe.
So, if this is if this is like first take news, then that will be very exciting since the FM1 Podcast is really open to anything. But wow, I mean, dang. But okay. How? Let's talk about FM2 here. So, do you think you will make, since you are you made a lot of tracks in your career, such as Alta Schillering, Yaxin, Al Jalali, one of the greatest tracks that are in FM1 so far. Are you proud that you made those tracks, or how is that? This is a completely unrelated question, but are you proud of yourself that you made you made a new from Arnav being the main track reader to you pumping out track after track after track and being consistent with it as well, being a good track always, like Yaxin, Al Jalali, Alta Schillering, the Jorge and everything like that? I mean, that must be a good accomplishment here, since you basically got everything in your belt now. You have a team championship, you got a solo champ, you are considered one of the best map creators, and you're a commentator now. So I feel like you got every accolade and every trophies that you want in your career here. So what else is there for you to achieve? Like, there might be a slight possibility there's gonna be a new commentator. Are you gonna a new co-commentator? So are you gonna be excited to be working with a new commentator? Maybe we can see the comeback of Arnav being the commentator, the co-commentator again. But how do you think that will play out in the future seasons here with the co-commentator, since we are getting an uprising of new drivers here? Well, what do you think will happen in the new seasons with a co-commentator and everything like that?
I mean, so far, co-commentators only for the position of FM2. Because there's a free position for it. For FM1, depends.
Wow.
Whether whether or not we have enough racers, basically.
I got you. I mean, there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, but it will be exciting if I have another person.
I mean, yeah, you've been coke like a solo commentator for a lot of seasons now, but it's gonna be exciting having another commentator bouncing off quips and notes with you as well. So that'll be very exciting to see. And there is some news that the FM2 race may be happening this Friday in Alto Schillering. How is that? Are you excited about that, or how is this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been wanting a FM2 for a while, so it will be very fun to have FM2 race.
I mean, yeah, of course. Do you think that FM2 may get a new track for FM2? Do you think FM2 may
exclusive to FM2?
I mean, maybe I don't really know, since FM2 is kind of a new thing here, so you may there could be some exclusive FM2 tracks that are easier for FM2 drivers to learn and tackle the challenges of being an FM1 driver. So what do you think of that? What do you think will
What that would be tackling the challenges like a FM1 driver then?
You are not wrong though. You do prove a great point there. I mean, you can't really be pulling a Lance Stroll here by giving him on a silver spoon. So how do you what is this? Are you gonna make like another version of Monaco, Ajalali by chance?
No.
Or
the whole point of FM2 is just to have easier drivers, not easier tracks.
Gotcha.
If you have easier tracks, how are they gonna get used to the actual tracks? It's not feeding someone with a silver spoon. It's just giving a easier platform for people to race on.
Yeah. I agree. That does sound reasonable, but with FM1 having kind of a drought with tracks lately, do you think you will be making new tracks, or you're just gonna hold off for now?
Now, this is a difficult question. With how it is, wait.
Oh, I got you really stumped with this question, eh?
I don't know. I've got loads of ideas. Only problem. What's happening? Give me a minute. There we go. I've got loads of ideas for tracks. Is right now building a track is getting more difficult because expectations of it, of the visual aspect of it, is getting higher. And it's just a bit more labor for something that can be lost so quickly. Because these tracks, if people don't like, they won't stay. So it becomes this thing of you building a track and it being rejected, and then that's it. You can't rebound from that. So it becomes a bit more difficult, in my opinion.
I feel you there. I mean, there is some tracks, like some good tracks, that were tossed aside because of drivers' opinions. So it is kind of disappointing to see drivers' influences on other drivers having to pick the tracks and everything like that. It is kind of disappointing on how some good tracks like Shibutori and everything like that might get voted out next season, depending on how Shibutori plays, and that will just create a more expectation to hold up, since of there is a like you said, there is a expectation here that you have to follow, or else you will get a track that is really not up to date with some certain drivers. But you can come back, since there is an archive of old tracks, tracks that we have never used before, so that could be used for purposes if you don't have any, if you kind of just want to finding a backup track. I think digging through the archive, like, I mean, since we're getting upsurge of drivers, like I said, we might actually, it may sound a bit impossible, but we could possibly be using Silverstone as a track in the near future. So if we do have a chance of getting a lot more drivers, with FM2 being a topic now, we could use Silverstone. That track has been sitting in the just nobody's picking it for a while now, so it's just kind of sitting around gathering dust. But it was supposed to be a track that was meant to be a good one, but it was too big, because back then we didn't really have a good amount of drivers. But now, since we do have you know, like a lot of drivers going into play here, Silverstone might come back. And how do you think? What would you think if Silverstone came back? Would you think it would be fun, or would you think it would be more chaotic like that?
I would like for it to return.
Ooh.
But maybe with a different layout. I mean, you can just cut the track shorter anyways.
I mean,
and maybe add a few more turns. So like cut it short, then add a few turns, which is something I'm willing to do. So.
I mean, yeah, since good tracks like Shibutori, Monaco, and Okinara, which Okinara did make a comeback, I think last season or this season, I forgot, but it did make a comeback, which was really exciting, but it kind of just was too laggy for the amount of drivers that we have. So that is or do you think that will happen with Silverstone, with that size of a track? I mean, of course it's going to be laggy, so how do you think that will play out exactly? I mean, lag is kind of a big problem here in FM1, so how do you think that will play out?
Hopefully it doesn't affect it. I mean, the whole reason we even have lag is because Mr. Debeat can't get a better internet.
Ooh, shots fired there, guys. Shots fired, but just gonna keep it chill here.
I mean, hopefully it doesn't.
I mean, yeah. Hopefully it doesn't, since we have lost some good tracks due to lag. I mean, this is there was a track that me, rizalezhar, and Nizam was working on, but it got discarded due to the fact the world got corrupted, since it was
Hungarian.
Yeah, it was a goofy track, but it's still I mean, it would have been fun to play in, but it was lost due to corruption, so kind of disappointed in that. But we do have some good tracks now. I mean, I'm not really that disappointed that Hungarian went away, but I just wish we had like a race there, like a one race there. But we didn't really have time for it since it was kind of like a trashed up track there, but it's okay. I mean, yeah, okay. So staying on the topic of FM1 here, which FM1 drivers are in your top 3 right now for the most potential, the most best, and the most noteworthy in your commentator experience here? Which do you think will be a good driver in the near future, or is a good driver in your top 3 here? Like, who's in your top 3? For like, as like you've been commentating for like a long time now, and you raced against them as well, so you
Top 3.
yeah, top 3 in your history of racing and commentating. Which races do you think is the best?
Currently, right now, Freddy, Josh, and obviously Dub.
Wow, okay. I mean,
yeah.
but don't you see as Dylan being in your near future?
Good, yeah.
Since Dylan has a quite of a comeback from last season, since he was a newbie. Now he's finally getting used to it, so hopefully that will play out in the near season. So yeah, I think Dylan being in the season, being good, is gonna be good. Yeah, good. Since there's not a lot of
see this thing I'm building right next year.
it looks like the White House here, but I will just ignore that and continue with the podcast here.
You see it.
I do. It looks a bit it's okay, guys. We sometimes have that feeling too, but with the future of FM1 kind of being in your hands, since even though Arnav is the owner of FM1, if that is some information that not a lot of people know about, that Arnav is actually the creator of FM1, not Rais. And FM1 used to be a minigame back then when we had a City World, so technically you're kinda the owner of FM1, since you kind of manage everything. You're a commentator now, and you basically do everything. You manage the points for a long time now. So do you consider yourself the creator, not the creator, like the owner of FM1, or do you think that you're just you're still just not just a humble person that just handles all the FM1 deals and everything like that? So who do you like? What do you think? Are you like, do you think yourself as the owner of FM1, or do you think yourself as the just a helper of FM1?
Not owner, but manager.
Manager. I get you. I mean, there was a lot of I mean, nobody really knew that Arnav or Matrix HD is the owner, but he's, I mean, yeah, of course nobody knew, because he's a driver in the thing. But I think that, what do you think of Arnav? Like, do you think he has a lot of potential, or no? Or what do you think?
He just has to be more consistent, that's all I would say.
I mean, yeah, I do have to agree, since Arnav has been lacking for a long time now. He hasn't been up to date with the current drivers. I mean, even new drivers such as Dylan and Cody are challenging him, and he almost won a fight, and he almost won a race. I meant, and I think it was Hardinge.
Yeah.
But he lost out due to incorrect pitting with VSC and everything like that. So, do you think if he fixed that and everything, do you think he will be a better driver, or he will still stay at the same rate he is currently?
I mean, all you have to do is just.
I'm gonna use salt after in the shower.
Okay.
Because right now I've got lighting. I already wet it like twice.
So, I have currently muted rizalezhar here since he is talking personal stuff here, and I mean, I am recording a podcast here for FM1 here, so I don't want any personal information here getting into the podcast here. But so far in FM1, we have seen a surge of new drivers coming in through with FM2 being a thing and everything like that. So me myself as a driver and as a helper for tracks, you know, like Monaco and everything like that, that was you know, assisted by me and everything. I think that FM1 is looking pretty good so far, but let's see if our guest, the commentator here, has finished talking about personal reasons. So let's see. Hello.
Brother glazed himself so hard.
So here is the commentator. We are back with the commentator here, and so far, with the state of FM1, the drivers and everything, I'm just going to be wrapping things up since I think this is a bit too long now. So,
are you recording?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been recording since the start. Okay, so but I'm gonna wrap things up. So I'm gonna ask you a question and or two to complete this, wrap this up. So, do you think FM1 is gonna continue like this in a state of like having good drivers and everything, like good races? Do you think it's gonna be in that still in that state, or in the near future, or maybe in the future it will go? Maybe FM will be cancelled. So what do you think? What's your opinion on that?
I don't know.
So we're gonna let Rais or our commentator here talk to his family here, but I'm gonna mute you real quick because I want you to let you sort that out real quick. So if everybody's wondering why we are doing this podcast, I mean, basically we're just bored. Okay. Usually when me and Rais are bored, we usually talk about FM1 and everything like that. So this is a good opportunity to talk about it, since we're just building a city world here. I'm building on a library, and I don't know what Rice is building here, but yeah, I will unmute Rice here. Hello, Rice.
Balls.
Okay, so you got my opinion. So you got my question, right? So what is your opinion on that?
What was your question?
My question was, in the near future, do you think FM1 currently right now will continue on this pace, or it will go to greater lengths, or it will go, you know, it will just stop the pace and it might get cancelled soon? So how do you, what's your opinion on that? Do you think it's gonna be on the same pace? Do you think it's gonna like go towards hell, or it will go towards heaven? What do you think? What's your opinion on that?
I think it should be fine.
You think it's gonna the pace is gonna go upwards, or it's gonna go downwards?
Why is this because you think the pace is gonna go down?
Me myself, with I don't think it's gonna go down. I'm just asking.
Sure.
No, yeah, I'm very sure because we have FM2 and everything like that. So this is gonna be exciting.
I swear, like a few days ago, you were like, "Oh, I want to make City Walk FM1 right now."
So guys, I'm gonna ask him one more last question before I crash out here, guys. So, right. So, do you think you will stay as a commentator, or do you want to be a driver in the distant future?
If I'm gonna hand my job of commentator to anybody, I want somebody at least competent to be able to manage everything.
Like Arnav or Josh?
Yeah, Arnav and Josh.
Yeah, since Arnav has commentating skills and Josh is very calm and composed. So, do you think you want to be a driver, or do you want to still keep on being a commentator for the rest of your career here? Don't you ever miss being a driver?
Sometimes, yeah.
I mean, it must feel a bit. I feel like there must be a sense of like how do you say this? Throwback here to through your days of racing. Don't you ever miss it? Since you've been commentating and like watching everybody race while you just sit around and just watch them and commentate, do you ever have a feeling of you saying like, I want to go back to racing, or is there,
No.
just you still want to commentate and everything like that? You don't have any feelings to like, of you missing to be a driver?
Commentating.
Wow, so you don't want to be racing?
I mean, I want to race. However, I would prefer commentating.
Wow. I mean, that's all I think for the first episode of the FM1 podcast. We talked about FM2, the new rise and everything, the new drivers, tracks and everything. I mean, that was a good first episode. So I don't. Yeah. So. Yeah, okay. See you guys for the next episode for the podcast here. I am your podcaster, XZ Zigzag, known as Doppelganger 1212 in FM1, with your guest starring here, the commentator rizalezhar, that was an ex-champion and an ex-team manager for the team LeBron James, which used to be known as Skelly Team. So that's all, folks. I will be seeing you for the next one.